Hey guys, my name is Vishal and today we're talking about the Sony PlayStation Showcase. Now this event happened a couple of days ago, and if you guys don't know, the Sony PlayStation Showcase is one of Sony's annual events where they show off a lineup of games, in this case for the PlayStation 5, that are going to be coming out either towards the end of this year or early 2022. Those are the games that they focused on. I think they revealed about 17 or so games, and they're so exciting. In this video, we're going to talk about a whole bunch of those games. We're not going to talk about all of them because there are so many of them. I'm going to talk about some of the ones that I'm really looking forward to and some of the games that I think you guys should check out if you guys have PS5 and if you guys are going to get some of these games as well. So let's get right into it. Like I said, these are the games that I think I'm going to be either getting, or the ones that I think I will enjoy the most, and we're going to talk about some of the reasons. So let's get into it. Alright, so first things first, we have Star Wars: The Old Republic, and yes, I am a huge Star Wars fan, so I'm really looking forward to this. I know it's set in the time before the original trilogy, so actually millennia before, so we're gonna get to experience that side of the story as well, and we're gonna get to explore the outer reaches of the Star Wars universe and see what that's all about. And if you guys have played the first game, you guys know that this is gonna be a very rich story that you guys are gonna be able to get involved in and immersed in, so I'm really looking forward to that aspect of this game as well. So that's the first game that Sony showed off, and I'm super excited to check out Star Wars when it does come out. Right now it doesn't have a date for when it's supposed to come out. It's still in development, but it's good to know that someone is working on a remake for Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic. Alright, now coincidentally, the next game that Sony showed off, and the next one that I'm going to talk about, is Borderlands. Sorry, no, not Borderlands. It's called Tiny Tina's Wonderland, and honestly, I thought it was Borderlands up until they actually showed off a few weird things. I thought it was going to be an expansion to Borderlands, but this is a new game. I believe it's a new game that is going to have the art style and is from the developers of Borderlands as well. It's a fantasy game that's also has guns and loot and all the cool things that you guys love in Borderlands. They put this into a fantasy world called Tiny Tina's Wonderland. There's dragons, there's partying, there's I don't know exactly. I think it might be like an MMO of some sorts, or it might be just multiplayer online. It might be something like Destiny or something like that. So I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited for the aspects of the strategy or fantasy world, as well as the Borderlands features that we are used to in the Borderlands games as well. So that's the next one that I'm really looking forward to. Now, Tiny Tina's Wonderland is set to release on March 25th, 2022. So it's coming up very early next year, and I'm really looking forward to getting that when it does come out. I have Borderlands 3. I've played the heck out of it, and now I'm excited to see what their next iteration is, what this new fantasy world plus the world of Borderlands, how those mechanics kind of play together. I want to see the combat, I want to see the dragons, I want to see the guns, and I want all that loot, so I'm really excited to check that out. Alright, the next couple of games have a common theme here, something that we've been kind of seeing in all of the games that were in the showcase, of magic. And it's a really interesting theme, and of course we're talking first about a game called Forspoken, and now this was a huge shocker. I was seriously impressed by this game just by the trailer, and honestly it's probably one of the top games that I'm excited to check out here as well. We'll talk about some others, but this one really seems like it's mixing the hyper-realistic world of real life and putting it into a fantasy world, combining those two, and the product is a really good looking game, and I'm really excited to check that out. In this game, we have the lead character, who I assume is lead character, who has somewhat of a bracelet or something like that on her arm that gives her certain powers. It reminds me of Shang-Chi, the 10 Rings kind of thing, which is a movie I just saw. So yeah, it does remind me of that, and it's a really cool looking game. A lot of the gameplay is fast movement, magic, lots of particle effects, lots of stuff like that. I'm really excited to try that out. The other game that's pretty similar to that, in a little bit of a different way, is Ghostwire Tokyo. Now this is one of the games that it was kind of announced during the previous, I think it was PAX or something like that. One of the events that Sony had earlier this year, it was announced there, and they've shown us a little bit more of what's involved. They've shown us some of the new characters, some of the actual gameplay as well. So this one's kind of like Ninja Naruto style magic. Again, there's that theme. So I'm really excited to check this one out too. It's kind of like horror-ish. I don't know if you'd call it horror, but definitely on that side of things. It's got Slenderman in there. It's got, like, you know, headless people crawling backwards and all that kind of stuff. So another one. I think I don't know if I'm going to exactly get that game, but it's definitely one of the ones that I have my eye out for, just because of the particle effects, the magic, the movement of it, and it's really exciting to see where that goes. Alright, so next we're going to talk about some of the Marvel games that were announced at PlayStation Showcase. There were actually 3 Marvel games, Guardians of the Galaxy, Wolverine, and Spider-Man 2. And so we're going to talk about 2 of them because they are made by Insomniac Games. Now, having played the original Spider-Man that was developed by Insomniac for PlayStation 4, I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with games like Wolverine and Spider-Man 2. As you know, let's start with maybe Wolverine first. I'm not going to talk about the Guardians of the Galaxy just because it's not developed by Insomniac. It might be a great game. It might be, you know, it looks pretty cool, but it's definitely not developed by Insomniac, which is really what I'm really excited for. So let's talk first about Wolverine. Honestly, like, this was the most shocking and most surprising addition to the PlayStation Showcase. This was the one that I was like, oh my god. Like, there are some pretty good games here, but all those ones either we've seen or we expected to get, but this one was kind of out of the blue, and it's not even like, it's still in development, so Insomniac hasn't released or revealed any dates for when it's going to come out. It's just in development, so we don't know when it's coming out, but we know they are working on it, so I'm really excited to check that out. If you guys don't know, Insomniac makes some of the, I would say, the best combat, you know, in terms of Marvel games. So the original Spider-Man is phenomenal when it comes to the combat, when it comes to traversal, the world, the open world, and even the graphics. And I mean, there's been a couple of updates to it, some of the expansions, some of the DLCs, and it's just been amazing. So I'm really happy to see that they're continuing to develop for Marvel, and they're developing these Marvel games, and I'm really excited to check out Wolverine when it does come out. The other Insomniac game actually does have a release date, and this is Spider-Man 2, and it's set to release in 2023 at some point. We don't know too many details yet, but as we were all freaking out about Wolverine being released, being developed by Insomniac, they also revealed that they're working on Spider-Man 2, and that is going to be released in 2023. So huge day. Like you know, I was saying for Wolverine that in comparison, like if it compares anything to the original Spider-Man, it's gonna be fantastic. And then they have Spider-Man 2 coming out, which includes Venom. I don't know, maybe he's gonna be an antagonist. Maybe, I'm not really sure. He might, you know, it might turn out that he's one of the protagonists. So we have 3 Spider-Mans, or I guess 2 Spider-Mans and 1 Venom to play as well. I'm really excited to see if we can play as Venom. That would be really cool as well. Maybe there might be some fighting in the beginning, but maybe he joins our side and we can maybe play as Venom for the rest of the story. So I'm really excited to check that out, and yeah, we'll see what happens with that one. But those are the 2 Insomniac games that I'm really excited to check out. Both Marvel games, huge fan of Marvel, and excited to check that out when they come out. Alright, next up we have the real driving simulator. Yes, it is Gran Turismo 7. we've been looking forward to this one for a long time. With the release of GT Sport a few years ago, we were hoping that that would be the game, or the next iteration, but that was kind of an in-between. But now we're getting the real thing. We're getting Gran Turismo 7, so it's part of the original series with, you know, all the benefits that it comes with. Lots more tracks, lots more cars, you know, in the hundreds of cars that we're expecting to have in Gran Turismo. It is, you know, for me as a car fan, this is a really exciting thing to get. You know, to be able to customize your cars. You're gonna be able to like both do the decal customization as well as the customization of the individual parts within your car to make your car faster. All the things that we love in Gran Turismo series, that's what we're gonna get with Gran Turismo 7. The updates are gonna be obviously the increased graphics, so you know, 4K graphics, maybe 8K, you never know. We'll see what happens, but all the cars look fantastic, and you know, the variety of cars that you're gonna be able to drive, both, you know, all in Europe, American, as well as the Japanese car markets as well. So I'm really looking forward to all those aspects of this game, as well as the driving. So I'm really excited to see what Polyphony has come up with for their next iteration of Gran Turismo 7, or of Gran Turismo, and really excited to try out and play that game. Alright, last but not least is the sequel to the 2018 Game of the Year, God of War. That's right, we are getting God of War Ragnarok. Now this is something that we've already seen before, but now we're getting more details and we're getting actual gameplay of this, and it looks so good. Having been awarded Game of the Year, it is one of the best games on the PlayStation 4, and it's definitely one of the ones that you guys should check out if you haven't already. You can also get it on PlayStation 5 as well, and play it on there while we wait for God of War Ragnarok. And like I said, there's going to be a few things. There's going to be a lot of it's going to be the same. You know, it's going to have the same characters. It's going to have Kratos. It's going to have Atreus, and some more familiar faces from the original game as well. And there are also going to be some new faces as well, like Thor, which I'm really excited to see and to fight as well in this game. So there's some other cool things, like being able to traverse all 9 realms. I think there were 6 in the original game, so you can go into all 9 realms, as well as, you know, being able to see with or being able to travel by dog sled, which is another cool thing, across the ice. This is going to be a slightly different setting, so I'm sure we're going to have different modes of travel, lots of different little upgrades. Atreus is growing up, and you know, he's trying, you know, he's no longer, well, I guess he's still a boy, but he will have grown up, and he's gotten some new interesting powers as well. We can see him kind of like, you know, riding a reindeer or some sort of, you know, deer animal, some sort of animal, I guess it would be. I don't know exactly what it is, and I'm sure Kratos has got some new abilities as well, and we're gonna get to use them. So I'm really excited to see all of that, and really just, you know, the amount that I enjoyed the first game, going through the entire story. The story was immaculate. The fighting was probably the highlight of that game, and I don't think that any of that has changed here. All the mechanics are pretty much still the same, if not, they've been improved. So I'm really excited to check this one out. This one is coming out, I think, in 2022 at some point. So we're just gonna have to wait. I don't know if it's at the beginning or at the end of 2022, but it will probably take Game of the Year when it does come out. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Those are the games that I'm really looking forward to from the PlayStation Showcase. If you guys are looking forward to some games that were in the PlayStation Showcase, or other games that in general are on the PlayStation, let me know down in the comments section below. And let me know if you guys are planning to check out any of the games that I mentioned today, and what you guys think of my list of games as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you liked the video, hit that like button and consider subscribing for more content like this. Thanks again, and I will see you guys in the next video.